What's good, everyone? Giant Opinions here. The trade deadline is coming up in less than 1 month, so I'm going to tell you guys 5 players and the teams that will be interested in trading for these players that will get moved at the MLB trade deadline. So we're going to start it off with starting pitcher Jose Quintana from the Pirates. He has been one of the bright spots on that struggling team. In 76 innings pitched, he has 67 strikeouts and a 3.43 ERA with a 3.57 FIP too. So he's generally having a very good season, and he only has 1 year left on his deal, worth $2 million. The Pirates are going to sell him off, but he is a cheap left-handed starting pitcher who is pitching well. He's not pitching out of this world where he's an ace and he's in the race for the Cy Young, but he's still a quality, seasoned veteran who has a lot of MLB experience, so that could be very valuable for some of these teams making a look a push. Now, my favorite fit is actually the Philadelphia Phillies. I know they have Ranger Suarez and Zach Eflin, but I think pairing him up next to Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola would be very, very good, and he would definitely be an upgrade over Ranger Suarez, in my opinion. And the Phillies have a lot of expectations this season, even though they fired Girardi, so they wouldn't have to mortgage too much just because Quintana's on the older side on a 1 year deal. So I like the Phillies. Some other teams, though, that could be interested: the St. Louis Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, Kikuchi is struggling big time. He can't replace him with Jose Quintana, because in the playoffs, you do not want to rely on a starter who you can't even trust to find the zone. So Quintana is the first player that I think could get moved at the deadline. Now, the second player I have is Brandon Drury from the Cincinnati Reds. And what a cool story for him. He's always been a bench bat, but this season he has had a starter's role, and he's played very well. He has a .270 batting average with 17 home runs, 45 RBIs, and an OPS of 864. So he is a quality bat for the Cincinnati Reds, but they will obviously move him. He's only on a 1 year deal, like the case for most of these players. So the team, or my favorite fit for Brandon Drury, is actually the Milwaukee Brewers. Second base is sort of in limbo. I understand Colton Wong kind of plays there, but Luis Urias is getting a lot of playing time, and even at that, the Brewers lineup is really the weakness of that team. The starting pitching, very, very good. The bullpen, probably the best in baseball, arguably with the Yankees. But they need some more spark to that offense. Rowdy Tellez is sort of the only power guy with Willie Adames. So I think Brandon Drury would be a wonderful fit in Milwaukee. And not to mention, Drury can play pretty much everywhere on the infield, and he can play some of the corner outfield spots too. So his versatility is a huge plus. That's why I love it for the Brewers. Some other teams I've interested are the White Sox. Josh Harrison gets a solid amount of playing time, and Yuri Garcia and Yoan Moncada are not really doing well this season. So I think Brandon Drury could be a very good fit for the White Sox, who are way underachieving, as that team is in some turmoil right now. I have the Giants if they do buy at the deadline, but it's not looking like we're going to. And the Mets and the Phillies. Those are the other two teams I think could be interested in trading for Brandon Drury. So I'm going to throw a curveball at a lot of you with this third player. And it's actually a guy on my own team, Carlos Rodon. I know a lot of people think he may not get traded, but the Giants are in a massive losing streak. We can just tell it's not our year. We're not going to make a World Series push. We're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. But Carlos Rodon he has had a very good season. He's a 2.87 ERA. In 91 innings pitched, he has 112 strikeouts. So, also, he has another year left on his contract, except if he hits 110 innings pitched this season, he can opt out of the contract next season. So, I think teams will be very, very interested. He is essentially a rental despite his second-year option, because he's going to eclipse that mark no matter what. But I think Carlos Rodon is going to be a very hot commodity for the teams that have those World Series aspirations, that truly believe they can win it this season, or that they're on like the brink of NL or ALCS and the World Series. So the teams I have interested in trading for Carlos Rodon: Toronto Blue Jays, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Houston Astros, because the Astros, they have a good rotation, but they could definitely upgrade from Luis Garcia. Carlos Rodon would slot in right behind Verlander very, very nicely, and I think it would really increase their chances even more. And also potentially the Yankees, because would you rather have Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Jamison Tyone, Jordan Montgomery, Severino's the third guy, but you know what I mean? Or would you rather have Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon, Severino, and then either Montgomery or Tyone. I think the second option sounds a lot better, and I think that gives the Yankees a lot better of a chance to win the World Series. So I think the teams that are really making a push will try and acquire Carlos Rodon. It will take more than the other players on this list, though. I'm just going to be honest. That's the case. He's going to command more capital to be given up. So, but if teams really want to swing big, be on the lookout. Carlos Rodon will get moved at the deadline. Now, Andrew Benintendi is the fourth player I have getting moved at the deadline. Benintendi is a good player on a struggling Royals team, and he's in the last year of his contract, and he was a top prospect at one point. He's batting .310 on the season, a 380 on base percentage with 91 hits and 31 RBIs. He plays a solid glove. He has a negative defensive WAR, but we know he's better than that. So Benintendi will provide outfield help for a team that needs kind of a starter, or just a spark in an offense. So the team, or my best fit, or my favorite fit for Andrew Benintendi, I kind of like the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not going to lie. I love that fit a lot because Brett Phillips is getting a lot of playing time. Emmanuel Margot is out for a long time now, sadly. He was doing very well, but now the outfield is a little bit shallow for the Tampa Bay Rays besides Randy Arozarena. I think Benintendi would be a very good stopgap and help the Rays, who are in a tough AL East and need as much help as they can to kind of set themselves over the top from these other teams, like the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. So I really like the Tampa Bay Rays as a fit. Maybe the Seattle Mariners, but Kyle Lewis is coming back from rehab soon. But their lineup has generally struggled, and I think adding a player with a high batting average and good on-base percentage would definitely help the Mariners, but I'm not sure because of Kyle Lewis. I have the Yankees, too, because would you rather have Aaron Hicks, who is way declined at this point, or would you rather have Benintendi out in center field or right field? I think Benintendi sounds like a way better option to me. If the Yankees really do believe they can win a World Series or they want to this season, you make the move and upgrade when you can. The Blue Jays have been linked to Benintendi in trade rumors, so that's why I have him here. And probably not the Phillies. I had him written down here, but I don't think so. So that brings us to our last player. And our last player is Daniel Bard, closing pitcher from the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are in last place. They're going to move whatever they can at the deadline. Chris Bryant's probably the only untouchable on that team, but he has 16 saves on the year. In 30.2 innings pitched, he has only allowed 16 hits. He has 38 strikeouts and an ERA plus of 223. So he's having a sneaky good season. I know the hot topic for relief pitching and the trade deadline is David Robertson, but Daniel Bard will probably be he'll be a cheaper option to some teams where they won't have to give up as much to go get him. And he's not necessarily like way down below in another tier compared to David Robertson. I think Daniel Bard's pretty good. So my favorite fit is the Tampa Bay Rays. They lead the league with the most blown saves, if we can all believe that. Because we usually think of the Rays as a very good pitching team, but they're blowing a lot of saves. I like the Boston Red Sox, too, his original team, because Bard was the guy who last pitched for the Red Sox in 2009, and he didn't make his way up to the majors until 2020 with the Rockies again. So how cool would that be if he goes back to the Red Sox and they go trade for him? I think that would be very cool, and it would help the Red Sox bullpen that has a few quality guys, but if they really want to go toe-to-toe with the Yankees in the playoffs or some of these other teams, got to improve the bullpen. Bullpen is crucial. I have the Braves listed too. They have Kenley Jansen and Will Smith, but they could certainly upgrade too if they want to repeat. I have the Phillies because their bullpen ERA has actually been way better since Girardi got fired, but they could... I'm not trusting any of their guys come playoff time to go close a game. I don't. Daniel Bard, I think Phillies fans can agree with me. I think you'd feel a lot better if Daniel Bard was the closer instead of maybe Corey Knebel or Sir Anthony Dominguez. So I have the Blue Jays and Cardinals as other teams, but those are the 5 players I have getting moved at the trade deadline, and I listed the best fits for those teams. This is only going to be episode 1. I'm going to make a few more of these because there are more players that will get moved at the deadline, but this video is already 9 minutes, so let me know what you all think about this video. I'm interested to hear all and anything you all have to say. And let me know your predictions too. Is there a team that I left off the list that you think could go trade for one of these players? Tell me. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.